Hello, Brett Wild here, and again, something a little different. We're in the Carenado Centurion, or 210, and we are in the mountains just to the southeast of Seattle, and also just to the east of Mt Rainier, which is off in this direction, and you'll see it shortly. So here's our airport, Ranger Creek, where we are going to begin our flight, and we're going to just head down this road here, IFR flying, I follow railroads, and do a touch and go here at Packwood, and then a touch and go here at Strom and Morton, then up this valley and into Eatonville. Now I've pulled it up in X airports, and you can see that we've got this, here's our aircraft right now. So we're going to take off to the south, fly right down in this direction. There's a little bit of a pass we fly over, and then on into Packwood, not a difficult airport. And finally into Morton here. You're not seeing the airport. And then up through this valley, over the lake, and on into Eatonville. So, and why am I doing this? No particular reason. But I did do some mountain flying, actual mountain flying, a few years ago, and one thing I learned is that these mountains have winds that come off of them and down, and can really hold the airplane down and prohibit your climb speed. In fact, it was very disconcerting, and I went back to the airport and talked to some of the old pros there, and they said, yeah, that's just the winds coming off the mountains. There's nothing wrong with the airplane. Just be careful. So I'll be careful. I did check the winds, and there's actually nothing around here in any direction. So it's pretty calm conditions. So I've got a notch of flaps here, and my lights on, and we are ready to go. Very narrow runway. Got a lot of P factor here. That beeping sound is the flap indicator, so you'll have to put up with it for just a minute. Get a little more sound here. Alright, flaps up. Nose comes down, you'll notice, so I'm trimming it a little bit. And now we can reduce the RPM on our prop down to 25. This is a constant speed prop, so that is something that you have to do. Come back a little bit on our fuel, or on our throttle. No reason to go tearing through these mountains, and I'm trimming the aircraft. Of course, I could just climb to 5,000 feet and skip all the excitement, but that would be kind of fun just to fly about 4,000 feet. Now you'll be able to see Mt Rainier probably around this next bend. Probably should be about 4,500 feet just to be safe. So you can see the mountains there right just to the right of my compass. That's Mt Rainier in southwest Washington. Oh, really southwest Washington. And the highway below us is 410. A second to reload there, so we'll try to keep it around 4,500. No autopilot, no radios today. Yeah, you can really see Mt Rainier now disappearing up into the clouds. It's a 14,000 foot peak. There's one in the Sierra Nevadas called Mount Whitney, and we've got a few in the Rockies, but actually Mount Whitney is the tallest in the continental United States. Now we're coming up on our mountain pass, so I'm going to climb just a little bit to get over that. Just south of that, the road splits off. 410 heads east, and then 123 begins. There's our pass. Then down into the valley again. So we're right about here. Of course, I would have my sectional in my lap. Here's Mt Rainier. We're right about here now. And our ex-airports has us, let's see, you can see our airplane right here. Whoops, got a little crazy there. So we're going to do a little more valley flying, and then we're going to come out into a broader plain, Plain, and look for our Parkwood Airport. So stand by for that. Alright, we've got our airport here. You can see the beacon, and we're cooking along here. at 160 knots, and we need to come way back. This is a complex aircraft, and it takes a while to get it slowed down. So I've got power all the way back. Gonna run my prop all the way to full. So the airport is at 1,000 feet, so our pattern altitude would be 2,000 feet. If there was an intercom here or a FBO of some kind, I would just call and let people know that I was on my way. So go ahead and put on our gear. And notch your flaps. No PAPI lights here. So I'm just eyeballing it. So full flaps, gear down, mixture rich, prop high, and about 500 feet a minute descent. And I'm going to try to do a touch and go here. So that means right after touchdown, flaps to a notch and full power. A couple of X-plane trees right in the way. Try to put it on the numbers. Sorry about that tree. It's one nice thing about X-plane, you can just fly right through them. Little scenery here. Right, flaps up, and off we go. Gear up. Look up over the cowling, we're doing all right. Flaps up, and cut back on my RPM to 2,500. Trim the nose for climb. And head down the valley here. Looking for Mt Rainier. So it must be off in the clouds there. And we'll just keep it about 2,500 feet. Since it's just these broad valleys that we're dealing with right now. Come back on our throttles to about 20 inches. I think it's 20 inches. Is that how you read that? Manifold pressure? It's the gauge in the, just to the right of that second Garmin. Alright, let me take a break here. Just continue on down this valley. Not much to look at, really. I mean, it is kind of pretty. Sun's starting to slip down. So join me in a few minutes. There is a little private airport. You can see it off to the left there under our nose. So we are not going to stop there. So that's right about here. So we're going to bear to the right a little bit to get to Strom. I'm not real familiar with this territory. So let's see where we're at here on the map. So here's our plane. So we're going to head up this direction. And then through this valley here. We've got this large lake here, so we're right about here. So the question is, how do we get to Strom? And it looks like if we just keep following this road, it comes around here. So we'll just stick with that road and see how well we do. It bears off to the north or to the right shortly. A little concerned about the light. In other words, I don't want to be flying through the mountains with it too dark. That is a large lake. Cool to see where we've come from. And you can see our other airport there. None of these airports have a high altitude, they're just surrounded by mountains. So it does make your approach a little bit interesting. So RPM high, mixture rich, and that runway is east-west. Gear down. Notch of flaps. Yeah, we're going to have to make a short base here. I don't like it when you can't see the runway. A little low here, huh? And this will be an interesting touch and go. Probably not advisable. I have to get it right on the numbers here. So I've got full flaps. Let's get lined up, Brad. We're going to want to drag it in. All right, and flaps up. Scenery. Avoid that bus. Gear up. Flaps up. So now where do we go? That's a good question, huh? So that was right here, and we want to head up this way. Another valley. Come back on our RPMs to 2500. So we are right here, and we'll just stay on that trajectory. Following our road, it's just Highway 7 now. You see the airport behind us that we just did a touch and go at. And let's get up to 2500 and hold it there. Back on our throttle and trim it for level flight. Again, no autopilot. Alright, I'll be back as soon as it gets interesting again. Alright, where are we? Here's our plane on X airport, so we want to head up this direction. Just lost some frame rates there, but they're back. So if we were to look at our sectional, we're right in here. So we're gonna fly over the lake for a bit and then head north to Eatonville. Not very far. I'm not quite sure exactly where we want to turn. Well, I guess we'll go up in that direction. Eatonville's up here. And it looks like we've got a north-south runway. So I just need to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we'll see a beacon. I apologize to all you rule followers who know we should be at 500 plus or minus, or I should say 1,000 plus 500. Alright, so, oh, there it is. Well, we're a little high and a little fast, so I think we're gonna come around. Get to pattern altitude. And we'll land to the south. Check the altitude here, 800 feet. So we're about 1,000. Get our gear down. Full RPM. Match your flaps on downwind. And let's see where we're at here. So we can probably turn base. There's our runway. Well, that was a sloppy base and we are really low. No scenery for our airport. Well, we're a little hot, a little high, a little sloppy. But let's see if we can get it down without... There we go. So that completes our flight through the mountains around the perimeter of Mt Rainier. Of course, I welcome your comments. If there's anything you'd like to see, any flight you'd like me to make, go ahead and holler. Till next time.